Just before this video starts, I want to talk about a little giveaway that I'm doing. Go down to the description below and sign up for it. I'm giving away two $50 worth of Amazon gift cards. So yeah, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for this channel. If you have any questions, don't forget to leave them down below in the comments section. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Hello there, my name is Noor and today we're going to be making a cool Reddit gallery. We're going to be using Reddit for our data set. We're going to parse images from uh, r/earthporn, which is this amazing little Reddit for high quality, amazing pictures like this. Um, in this course, we're going to learn about how to use fetch and how to deal with JSON files. So we're going to use Reddit for our dataset. To get your dataset, you just need to enter your subreddit name .json, and this will retrieve this little file right here, which is essentially just objects, really. I have this little neat extension called JSON formatter, which will parse this to little pretty JSON format like this. So we will have 25 objects from an array called children in our JSON data. Um, each object is going to contain data, which has all these little different attributes, as you can see here. We're going to be using title, we're going to be using preview images, and we're going to use a resolution, and we're going to use this little array to make fetching images a little faster. So we're going to use the fourth object. It's going to be at index 3 because 0, 1, 2, 3. And it's going to have a URL, as you can see here. You can use whatever. You can even use the URL, which is the full quality thing, really. If you open that, as you can see, it's the highest quality of them all. I just want to use nested stuff in this course or this video. So yeah, we're also going to be using the permalink, so we can actually link the image to the post like this. This is just an amazing attribute you can use as well. There's a thing here called ops, if I can find it. All right, here it is. As you can see, this object has 46,000 upvotes, and we're going to display that here like this. And yeah, we're going to do the little animations in CSS, and we're going to be using grids for this, which is really neat. All right, so let's get started. All right, so first of all, we're going to create three files: index.html, index.javascript, and index.css. I've gone ahead and made a little to-do list in our JavaScript just to keep track of what we're doing and what we need to do. And actually, let's just hide that really. So we need an unordered list, which we're going to store in it items, and each item is gonna have an image and a little label for it, and the number of upvotes and the link to click, so you can go to its Reddit post. All right, so let's get started. First of all, we're going to create our unordered list. We're going to link up our JavaScript and our CSS. I have live reload, by the way, on, so I don't need to refresh this. Okay, let's go to our index.javascript file. All right, so first of all, we're going to fetch JSON data from our earthporn file. But actually, before that, we need to create our variables, and we're going to create our request URL. So this means where am I gonna get my JSON data from? And I'm going to get it from this little file here, which is earthporn.json. So let's just put it right here. Okay, cool. And this is our request URL. Also, we're going to get our little unordered list right here. So let's do that real quick. We're going to cache our URL element We're going to cache it in a const because we don't really need to change it. So it's gonna be static really. So let's do image list and equals document dot query selector, and we're going to pass in it ul, which is our element name. Okay, after that we need to start fetching really. So let's go ahead and start fetching. So this is gonna take an argument. You can pass 2 arguments to this, but for our purposes, that's really not needed. You can learn more about fetch from this little URL. I'll leave it in the description below. All right, so we're going to pass set our request URL, and then we're going to retrieve a blob. This blob, I'm going to call it data. I'm gonna extract the JSON from it. This is how fetch works. Um, it's gonna have the data is gonna have a body, which is a JSON file. So we're just going to say return data.json, and then we're going to have our data, which is really cool because now we have our JSON data. I'm gonna call it posts, and here's what I'm gonna do with it. I'm gonna iterate over each post, really. So actually, yeah, to iterate over posts, you need to access the children from the data here. Okay, so sorry about that. I'm going to iterate over our children array. This is an array with 25 items. It's gonna have a child called data. It's an object, and let's just do for each child or post from these children. Um, we're going to create a new object with 4 attributes. So let's define our post object, and let post object equals a new object. We're going to have an image URL. As I said before, this is going to be the 4th resolution from this little drop down. So let's do post.data.preview.images 0 because it's going to have this little thingy in it. And then we're going to choose the 4th index for our resolution. Because this is from 4 to 5, I think. It's 6 really, 6 iterations. So yeah, this is our URL for the image. And now we have the image title. This is going to be post.data.title. That's really it. And also we need upvotes, which is going to be post.data.ups. And I think we're done, are we? No, we're going to need the post URL. This is gonna be the permalink plus our domain name. So domain name is gonna be really just https //www.reddit.com. So let's put that in, and plus permalink. Now we have created a new object. We're going to add it to our URL element, which is amazing. We're almost halfway there. Let's do that really. We're just gonna do image list dot inner HTML. Image list is our UL element right here. We're going to append to the inner HTML this new little function, which we're going to pass post object to it. Let's create this function real quick. This is going to be function, add a new image, and it's going to take one post object, and then we're going to return a little HTML thingy. Let's do an li, which is a list item. We're going to pass in a p, a paragraph. This is going to be the image title, and we're going to pass in an image. Let's do URL or src, sorry about that, and then we're just going to pass it the post object dot image URL, and then we're going to pass in the upvotes, which is going to store in an h5 element. Let's just do post object dot upvotes. Okay, and then we're gonna put an anchor or a link here, and we're gonna store in it this little link, which is going to be our post URL. So just do um, target blank. So this is gonna open up in a new tab, and href we're gonna pass in at post object dot post URL. We're gonna put a little cool neat icon in there, and that's really it. We're done with the JavaScript. So if I save this and go here, you can see we're almost there. We've parsed our objects, and we've printed them in here. Okay, so let's style it real quick. This is not gonna take a lot of time. First of all, we're going to style the body. I'm going to remove any margin and change the font family to Go UI. So this is gonna look a little bit more appealing. Then we're going to change this little unordered list. Let me just make this a little bigger, really. We're going to give it 3 pixels up and down and 0 left and right, and 0 padding. We're going to give it full width, so the width of the entire page. We're going to disable list style. We're going to display it as a grid, and then we're going to let me show you this real quick. Make the grid 3 columns. Each column is a fraction of the display width, and then we're going to add a row gap and a column gap of 10. So let's do that real quick. As you can see, it's not really done. We need to control the size of the image. So let's do that real quick. We're going to create each li is going to be 30 vertical height or virtual height. I'm not sure what this stands for, but this is going to actually just almost make it a third of the page. That's because it's not really 33, it's 30. So I'm going to leave an extra room for more objects in there. And we're going to change the width and the height of the image to cover the entire li object, really. And then we're going to put all the elements inside this li as an absolute element, which means it's gonna just not take space of the element, and it's gonna be easily placed inside everywhere. So we need to change the opacity to 1 when we hover over stuff. So like this is gonna be much better to see. Also, we're going to style our paragraph element. We're going to give it a little white color, place it to the top left corner, and give it a little shadow. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. Let's do H5. This is going to be our little upvotes in here. As you can see, this is much better already. An anchor element, which is this, and yeah, we're done, really. This is it. This is your new thingy.